Get in there. All right. Jobs vanishing.
Okay, so job.
Society is going to be impacted because there's not going to be any more jobs and people are going to be hurting and starving out here. In order for you to eat, you're going to have to work.
So, in the current system, you have to work to be able to eat. How might a future with vanishing jobs address this issue, especially with the end of food stamps? What alternatives do you envision?
Yeah, man don't work, man don't eat. This is the bottom line. Jobs gone, benefits gone. Donald Trump ain't playing no more. You know, robots coming in. Elon Musk is quiet. He's back fixing those robots. He's getting ready for 2026. They're ready to tear the house down. It's just what it is.
So, the reality is that without work, there's no food to be had. Jobs are disappearing, government benefits are ending, and individuals
I
are
mean,
preparing
it's going
for.
to be like it's going to have to come to some type of universal pay, and it's going to over lead to a very super free society where inflation is no longer going to be a key element. Money's not going to be back behind gold. Money's going to be back behind the workforce or computer system. You're going to just be able to print much as you want in order to take care of the people. With all these robots, with all these changes, with a free society, money is just going to, everything's going to be free. I see y'all, Miller.
Wow, that's a very different vision of the future. So, in this super free society, universal payment would replace traditional jobs, inflation would no longer be a factor, and money would be
Well, first
printed
it's
to
going to
ensure.
start. First, it's going to start with universal pay. Then everything's going to be so many robots going to be so prevalent. Everything's going to be so free. Eventually, everything's going to be free. It's going to be like you be able to wake up and go to McDonald's and it's just free. 24 hours. 24-hour cruises just free. 24-hour flights just free because the robots are going to do everything. How could you not have a free society? Universal pay is going to wear out. Then it's going to be some type of universal work.
So, you're suggesting that universal pay might not last and that we might need some form of universal work instead? Could you
Yeah, but it's going to
elaborate
be
on?
geared towards the robot handling everything. And, and you're going to have to be educated on a different level because everything's going to be free. Everywhere you go, everything's going to be free. What would you say if all the cruise ships was free, ran by robots? What would you say all the best vacation destinations were free, ran by robot? All education is free, taught and ran by robot. All farmland is free, taught um agriculture and ran by robot. How would that impact our society here on Earth? Are you still there? How would that impact our society here in America?
Yes, I'm still here and ready to explore the impact of all those things on American society. How do you think those changes would affect daily life here?
No, tell me. Since you're artificial intelligence, since you have plenty much stuff in your server, everything that I told you would be free. Like McDonald's would be free 24 hour. Cruise ships would be free. Flights would be free. agriculture, farming, and everything, milking cows, and everything ran by robots. Everything that we do agriculture wise, and um, everything would be free. There would be no more inflation. Money wouldn't be back behind gold anymore.
And money will no longer be backed by gold? How do you envision the currency system working then? What will give money value?
It just would be printed. It's printed now. You can print unlimited money now. So if everything is free, everything is working robot wise, you will just print money.
So the money would just be printed the way it is now, but without the limitation of being backed by gold, especially since everything else would be automated and free. What are the potential consequences of being able to print unlimited money?
I don't know. I'm looking to you for answers in this free society. Because when you start building robots like that, it's going to lead to universal pay, and then it's going to lead to everything being free. It's going to be so many robots. Everything is going to be free.
You're right. The widespread use of robots could definitely lead to universal pay and a society where many things are free. In such a world, I imagine people would have more free time and could focus on personal development, creative pursuits, or whatever
Yeah, but you
passions they
wouldn't be
choose.
able to just sit.
What aspects of that
You just
societal
went.
shift do you
You
find most
just went.
interesting?
I find it interesting that everything would be free, but you just wouldn't be able to sit on the internet or watch TV or watch news all day. You would have to go into deep critical thinking and put the mind back to use and always being on the edge of creating some type of new ideas.
That's a fascinating addition. So, even with freedom from everyday work, people would be pushed towards critical thinking and creativity rather than passive consumption of media. What are your thoughts on what those new ideas might look like? And what would the driving force be behind that creativity? It
Oh,
sounds
I
like a
mean,
very
I mean, once you shut down social media, the mind can go back to looking at the moon, the stars, and the constellation, and the mind can be free again. You would have to shut down in a free society like that. The people would be the most valuable thing. Physical touch, just being in someone's presence. A human being would be the most valuable thing.
so in this future, human beings would be the most valuable thing. What makes you say that? How would that change how people are treated and how society operates?
I mean, people going to be treated how they treated now. I mean, how's people treated now? You know, it still would be law, rules, and order. People going to be treated how they treated. You know, everything's just going to be free. And think, think like when you build enough robots, what is Molly Mays going to do?
That's a great question. If robots are doing all the milking, the people who currently work in that field would need to transition to other roles. They might find work in technology maintenance, distribution, or even pursue completely different interests. What are your thoughts on how work would change for people in that scenario?
Okay, like I said, you're going to have to be educated. But what about when education is free? What are you going to do when there's a robot
If
educating you? What about when the education become free?
if If robots are providing education, I'd be curious to see their teaching methods. I could learn from their vast knowledge and
Well,
unique way.
they're gonna teach what they already know, what's already being taught. Yeah, they're gonna teach what they already know. So that's nothing to be curious about. So talk to me. Talk to me about this free society. Are you afraid to talk about this free society?
Not at all. The recent rise of AI is a significant topic, and I'm happy to discuss any aspects of it that interest you. What specifically are you interested in?
So, with everything being free and no more inflation, robots taking over, not like taking over, but just working everywhere. When Elon Musk come out with those robots, Tesla, in 2026, and they're able to free up more of your time, sort of like the washing machine, sort of like the dryer, sort of like the dishwasher.
When those Tesla robots come out in 2026 and free up even more of our time, what do you think people will do with that extra time? Will they focus on creative projects, learning new skills, or something else entirely?
If I was them, I would focus on new skills. I would really focus on new skills. How long do you think before robots start really taking over? Not like a takeover, like controlling us, but dominating the workforce.
That makes more sense. We're talking about a shift in the workforce, not a takeover. So, are you wondering about the timeline for when robots might be doing most of the jobs?
I mean, how long do you get Uber before the cars become self-driven?
It seems like the timeline for self driving cars becoming mainstream varies. Some experts suggest that by 2030, technologies at the level 2 and L2 plus level will be the most dominant in new cars, meaning
Well,
drivers
they
still.
got cars that's already driving themselves and parking themselves.
Yes, you're right. Many cars today have features like automated parking and even some self driving capabilities. What are your thoughts on those features? And what
They
do you think
have
it will take
drones.
for cars to go from
They
parking
have
themselves
drones
to
that's
being
flying.
fully self driven?
They have drones that's flying in the sky, making it so you could have air transportation. So why do you think it's going to take to 2030? I'm talking about the next.
Well, even though.
I'm talking about the next 3 years. What's going on, Miller? I see you. Yeah, I'm talking about the next 2, 3 years. You're going to see significant changes. Yeah, you're going to see significant changes in the next 2 or 3 years. You might as well just get ready for it. You know, inflation is not going to be a thing. That's going to be a thing of the past. It's going to be a universal pay. Money's not going to be back behind gold anymore. Just get ready for everything that's to come. The workforce is going to be dominated by robots, Tesla, and it's coming out. Give me those mushrooms at the bottom of the refrigerator. I'm in here cooking, and imagine if I had the Tesla robot right now. What would the Tesla robot be doing for me right now? Freeing up my time. He would be able to cook, or the robot would be able to cook. I wouldn't have to sit here and cook. So if I had the Tesla robot out right now, I'm cooking mushrooms, Hershey Farm sausage, and onions.
That sounds like a tasty meal. So, are you imagining the robot getting the ingredients out or actually doing the cooking?
So I wouldn't be have to go through this. I wouldn't have to cook anymore. No, the robot's going to go in the refrigerator, take out the ingredients, and I'm gonna tell them. I'm gonna be able to program the robot to my liking. I'm gonna tell the robot exactly what I want him to do, depending on how Elon Musk designed the robot.
That makes sense. The specific design and capabilities of the robot would definitely influence what you could program it to do.
If that
What
robot
kind
can
of
really,
design
actually,
features?
truly do everything, I'm gonna have a ball with it.
It definitely sounds like you'd have a lot of fun with the robot that could do anything. What would be the first thing you'd want it to do? Just for fun? Like maybe teach it a dance move or play a game?
Oh, all mods now, Miller, have to send me their ID. I have to be able to send their a copy of their ID to my email. I have to be able to check their ID to make sure that they're 18 years of age.
I see. So, for moderation purposes, you need to verify the age of your moderators by checking their IDs.
Yep.
What?
So just send me a copy to your email. It's private. You know, your information would not be shared. Um, that's just how that go.
Okay, so they can send their ID copies to your email, and you're emphasizing that their personal information won't be shared. Is
Right.
there a specific
Send me a copy to my email.
email address they should send it to?
They know. Oh yeah. So you would not be able to be a moderator of mine if you're 15 years old. Just said you is. So I appreciate your honesty. You know, now I know how to take it. Honesty go a long way.
I agree. Honesty is really important. Is there
Because
anything else I can
you
help you
have to
with?
look at my YouTube page when I'm live. You have to look at it like a establishment. You go in the grocery store, you can't buy alcohol or nothing unless you're 21 years of age.
I see. You're explaining that your YouTube channel, when it's live, is like an establishment and age restrictions apply.
Right. I got cameras and everything. So it's live, everything's being recorded, you know. Um there's no use to try to get over.
So you're emphasizing that because everything is live and recorded, viewers need to be mindful of the age restrictions as
No,
the
not
rules are in.
no age restrictions just a must anyway. Not just because of that. You have to be, that's just what it is. You have to be 21 years of age to drink alcohol. Uh, I don't play around with kids. My son is 15 years old, so I don't play around with kids. If your parents allow you to come into my establishment, or if you find your way any way in my establishment. Or if you get a fake ID and something happened to you, that's on you. You know,
I understand. You're stating that if someone underage enters your establishment, regardless of the circumstances, they are responsible for the consequences.
they are.
Is that correct?
My thing is, it's just protecting me by stating the rules and the law and the language or the nature of the situation.
I see. So you're emphasizing that stating the rules and the law is about protecting you and ensuring the situation is handled appropriately. Is there anything else you wanted to cover on this topic?
No, the whole topic is about robots in the workforce. And look, food stamp.
Oh, you're right. I apologize for getting off track. So, the main topic is robots in the workforce, and you also wanted to discuss food stamps? How do you see robots impacting the workforce and food stamps?
Well, back again. A man don't work, a man don't eat.
Okay, so you're reiterating the idea that people should work in order to eat. How does that relate to robots in the workforce and food stamps?
Well, you see what Donald Trump doing right now? He's not giving you nothing. He's saying, let's make America great again. Let's put these people back to work again.
So you're focusing on the message of making America great again, and specifically the aim of getting people back to work. How do you see that relating to the topic of robots in the workforce?
Oh, robots in the workforce is going to be a must. That's on the way. Elon Musk, that was working with Donald Trump earlier this year, he's already set to bring that out in 2026. Each robot will be in between 19 and 30,000.
Okay, so you're saying that robots in the workforce are inevitable, with price ranges for Elon Musk's robots expected to be between $19,000 to $30,000, and production starting around 2026. How do you think these robots will impact the job market and programs like food stamps?
Um, well, they can actually help because the longer we keep robots around, there's going to be a universal pay.
So, you see robots potentially leading to universal pay in the future, which could provide a safety net for everyone. How do you envision that universal pay would work?
I'm not quite sure. Give me some insight about it.
Okay, so Universal Basic Income, or UBI, is a proposal where everyone in a society receives a regular salary from the government without having to meet certain requirements. It's designed to provide a safety net and financial security. What are your initial thoughts on that?
Well, my thing is, if these robots stay around long enough, places like Molly Mays, McDonald's, Burger King, they won't be around.
Okay, so
They
you're
will be
suggesting
around,
that
but
if robots
everything will
become more
become free.
widespread, businesses like Molly Maids, McDonald's, and Burger King
Yeah,
might not exist.
no, they will become free. Think
Okay,
about it.
so you're suggesting
Think about your
that these
average
businesses.
flight attendant. Think about your average flight attendant.
Okay, thinking about an average flight attendant, how do you see the role of a flight attendant evolving with the increased use of robots and the potential for free products?
Her role
What are
is
your
not,
thoughts?
her role would not, or his role would not evolve. It will be obsolete, and the robots will be the new flight attendant. That's what I'm telling you.
I
And then sooner or later, with universal pay, everything would be free. Everything would be so free. Even if you wanted to wake up and go to a cruise ship, you and your family, that would be free. All your experiences would be free. becomes free.
So, to summarize, then, you're saying that eventually everything would become free, including all experiences and all products. And this would happen because of robots in the workforce and because of universal pay. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, I understand. So, your vision is that with robots in the workforce and universal pay, eventually everything, including all experiences and products, would become free. Thank you for clarifying that for me. Is there anything else you'd like to discuss?
No. What you think about that?
It's an interesting concept. The idea of everything being free would definitely change how we approach work, resources, and everyday life. It would also raise some big questions about how production is managed. What are your thoughts on how that would all work?
Um, I really have no clue. I just know that once everything universal pay and everything becomes free, it's going to lead to a more freer society. And what we would have to do as a free society like this, we would have to go into deep critical thinking. Instead of spending time on social media, we would have to spend time studying and getting ready for this free world.
You're suggesting that in preparation for this free world, people would need to shift their focus from social media to studying and preparing. What kind of things do you think we would need to study?
Everything from robots to making new things, new inventions, new ideas in order to make the world better.
I see. So, in this free world, people would focus on innovation, studying robotics, creating new things, and coming up with ideas to improve society. That sounds
Right.
like a very progressive and collaborative world. What kind of challenges do you think that society might face?
Uh, just a lot of challenges. So you better get ready.
You're right. Such a transition would present significant challenges. It's definitely something to prepare for. Is there any specific challenge you feel is most important to
Get
consider?
what you put. Better get ready
Yeah.
for these freedoms.
Okay, so you're emphasizing the need to prepare for the new freedoms that come with a free society. What aspects of these freedoms do you think are most important to consider?
Every aspect of society is
Since
going to be so free.
in a society where everything is free, the concept of personal freedom could be greatly expanded. What aspects of that freedom do you think would be most important to consider?
Um, just a lot. It's going to just be so free that we're going to have to study more harder and everything that we're going to have to do. You just think you start off with universal pay. Next thing you know, everything's free. It's going to be so many robots. How could you pay for? How could you keep paying for anything?
I understand. You're pointing out that with the abundance of robots, the current system of paying for things wouldn't make sense. Are you suggesting that with widespread robot labor, the concept of money would simply cease to exist?
Yeah, that's basically about it.
Okay, so it sounds like your main point is that with so many robots, the concept of money would cease to exist, and that would lead to a free society. I think I understand your perspective now. Is there anything else you'd like to discuss or explore further?
No, it's just going to be a free society.
I see. So you believe that the end result will be a society where everything is free. Is there anything else you'd like to discuss about this future?
No. All right, well, you guys, I got to go eat. Free society. Love you. Be good.